SchuZ Views episode 27 is going to be one you're not going to forget. Oh, it's going to be a spectacular one. You're not going to miss it because the Summer League is in the books. So I decided to have a midweek episode in which I talk all about the Summer League and we do a quick recap. But I wanted to go bring on one of the Arizona's best in Jordan Howard. You're not going to miss what the LA Lakers star had to say as he talks all about playing for the Lakers in the Summer League, playing for the Warriors last year, playing for the Toronto Raptors G League team, being one of the Southland Conference all-time great players, and so much more. All that's going to come up next, and I'm going to give you guys a recap about players that have now got deals after the Summer League, and just what went down this year's Summer League. You're not going to miss SchuZ Views episode 27. It's going to be a special one, and don't forget to go follow me at Schumaker on Twitter and Instagram so you guys can stay up to date on future episodes. So, let's get right into the episode. How's everyone's weeks going? I hope everyone's having a blessed week. But with that being said, I'm your host, SchuZ Schumaker, and I'm at my home in Gilbert, Arizona. I've got a very special episode in store for you guys, because the Summer League is now in the books. I've got one of the top players that played for the LA Lakers this Summer League, in Jordan Howard. You're not going to miss it. With that being said, I want to talk a little about the Summer League, so let's hop right into a quick recap. Obviously, the MVP, I couldn't be more excited to announce it was Brandon Clark out of Arizona. You guys know that story. I love Brandon Clark and couldn't be more excited for him. Also, though, he led his Memphis Grizzlies all the way to the finals, and he got Finals MVP as well. So big time congratulations. Brandon Clark was the first player to win both Finals MVP and MVP of the Summer League. Now, the first team, all first team for the Summer League, the guards were Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kendrick Nunn, and the forwards were Brandon Clark, Jared Allen, the center was Mitchell Robinson. For the second team, Anthony Simons, Lonnie Walker, Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes, and Chris Boucher. Obviously, all of them played great at a high level and led their teams to the point that they made it to. Now, some of the top scorers from this year's Summer League. Now, there's a couple guys, Lonnie Walker, Frank Jackson, McLean. A lot of these guys didn't necessarily they didn't play enough games to qualify them. Lonnie Walker only played 2, the other 2 only played 1 game. But Lonnie Walker, Frank Jackson both averaged 30. As for McCain, he averaged 24 in the 1 game he played, or 29 in the 1 game he played. Now, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he led all scorers while playing at least enough games for my books. He averaged 24.3, Chris Boucher at 23, and Aaron Holiday, big time showing, 22.3. I think he's going to have a huge year off the bench for Indiana. Watch out for a special year from him. Obviously, I think Chris Boucher is going to get a lot more minutes. He's going to be big time. Anthony Simons is going to be an elite backup point guard until he gets moved eventually, kind of like in a Dennis Schroeder role. I think he has more upside, though, because he's taller. I like his game. He averaged 22 points per game. Kendrick Nunn will be in the NBA next year. He destroyed the Summer League. Chris Clemens, he destroyed the underdog. The tinier guy for Houston came out and showed out. 20 points per game for him. Gary Trent from Duke from a couple years ago, he averaged 20 points per game. Cameron Payne, which he played 20 points per game for Dallas, which earned himself a spot on the Toronto Raptors to make the team. Tyler Hero averaged 19.8, big time for the rookie, something special out there in Miami. And Tony Bradley has been developing a few years now for Utah. Obviously had a great Summer League, almost averaging 20 points per game with a 19.7 point per game average. A lot of big-time players in the scoring category. As for the top rebounders, Tony Bradley and Jared Vanderbilt and Terrence Mann all tied with 11.3 rebounds per game. Jared Allen was at 10.6 along with Mitchell Robinson, another New York duo I talked about. Kevin Hervey, big-time performances for Oklahoma. He had 10.3 rebounds per game. Cameron Williams for New Orleans had 10. Chris Boucher from Toronto had 9.8 along with Brandon Clark and Robert Williams. Now, as for assists per game, Bruce Brown from Detroit had the most assists in the entire Summer League, and he truly was put on a show. He showed why he was a starter last year. Maybe he didn't have necessarily enough opportunity to produce at this level, but I think as he grows, he's going to get more and more, and he truly showed. He's only second player in Summer League history to have a triple-double on Lonzo Ball. He had 8.3 assists per game. Chris Chiozza for Houston, he was signed by the end of the year for 6.4 assists per game. Kendrick Nunn, he had 6.3. Miller McIntyre, he had 6 assists along with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Both put on a big-time show. Now, Terrence Mann, he had 5.7. He put on a show. He's another steal for LA. They're going to love him out there with the Clippers. Nazmi Chulon, he had 5.5, along with Jordan Lloyd, Matt Farrell, and Brandon Goodwin. They all had 5.5. A lot of big-time players and playmakers right there. As for steals per game, Shaquille Harrison, before he was waived in the 1 game he played, he had 5 steals. And then McLean, he had 4 steals. As for the guys that played a good amount of games, though, Jordan Lloyd had 3.3. John Kocher, he got a 2-way deal. This will earn him at 3 steals per game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 2.8. Cameron Payne, 2.7. Noah, 2.7. Perry McCall, 2.5. Antonio's Cleveland 2.4, Jordan Poole 2.3, along with Gary Clark at 2.3, and Tremont Waters at 2 assists or 2 steals per game. A lot of great defenders we saw here, and that's what I learned. A lot of these guys got contracts now, and they're going to be in the NBA next year. As for blocks per game, Omar Spellman averaged 3 in the 2 games he played. Obviously, he was traded to Golden State and didn't really play too much after that. But Mitchell Robinson held it down at 3.4. Bruno Fernando, he showed up big time. Obviously, I thought he was a potential lottery pick. Atlanta got a steal there. 3.3 blocks per game. Norvell Pele, he had 2.8 blocks. Big time play at that. Got the two-way deal locked up because of that. Playing with the Philadelphia 76ers. Daniel Gafford, one of the biggest steals of the draft, as I said. 2.8. Kenny Wooden, 2.5. Christ Kuminjala, he had 2.4. Dante Hall, 2.2. Jared Allen, 2.2. And Burma, his teammate out in Brooklyn, he also had 2.2. And Ray Spalding and Wendy Gabriel both had 2 blocks per game. Now, there's a lot of big-time players that played here. I mean, we see a lot of guys that got contracts, either two-way, training camp, so on and so forth, and there's going to be a lot more that keep coming out. I mean, the Summer League obviously is a great place. It was another great year. I was so glad I was able to go there and watch some of the games again. But Summer League is just one of the best parts about the summer. You get to watch young talent. You get to watch young guys go at it night in and night out. It's just something special to watch, and that's why the Summer League was once again a success. Loved having all 30 teams there once again, and of course adding 2 overseas teams with China and Croatia. Big time move from Adam Silver. Can't wait for next year's Summer League. This was once again a great one. Coming up next, those from Arizona know him and his family. Jordan Howard comes on the show to discuss his Summer League experience playing both the California Classic and the Las Vegas Summer League, playing for the LA Lakers, and what kind of run he had. Obviously, it's something special if you guys tuned in. You're not going to miss what he has to say. Coming up right after this. I'm blessed to be able to welcome one of the stars from the LA Lakers Summer League team, the Southland Conference all-time leading scorer, and an Arizona native, Jordan Howard. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, my man. How are you?
Pretty good. Let's talk about the Summer League. Obviously, you just got back from it. How did you originally get invited to it?
Yeah, crazy thing was, I actually found out I was going to be playing for the Lakers the day before the first game of the California Classic. So my agents originally were talking about a few teams that were interested in the Lakers were one of the ones that were on top of the list. But they originally had their Summer League roster kind of set. So I originally didn't think I was going to even be playing in Summer League this year. But the Sunday before the game on Monday, my agent called me at like 5 at night and was like, hey, the Lakers want you to come out. The game's tomorrow, but they want to fly you out tonight. So I had to get on a flight. I had to say bye to the family, bye to Marcus because he was going back to school this coming week. So I had to get on a flight at 10 p.m., landed in Sacramento at 1:30 in the morning, and then played the next day, which was Monday. So it was crazy how it all came about, but I'm glad I got the opportunity to go.
No doubt. I mean, God definitely has his ways of working crazy ways.
Man, he really does, and he always has a plan. So it works in mysterious ways, but it always works out.
No doubt. Talk a little about your teammates. I mean, obviously, it's kind of like you said, it was kind of rushed right into it kind of thing, but you also have a lot of good players, and talk about some of those guys that you were able to connect with.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, it's different for me because I wasn't in training camp with them, so I didn't know what to expect coming in. Especially like me coming in and getting a lot of opportunity to play. A lot of guys could have been like, oh, why is he playing or why is he here? But everyone really embraced me, and it was a real great team atmosphere, and the coaches did a great job of integrating everybody. So I really connected with everyone, honestly, and it was just a great experience to be able to go out there and be with those guys for 2 weeks. So it was great.
No doubt. Let's talk a little about the California Classic. I mean, that's obviously, like you said, you got in there a little rushed, but still, and you went out there and were able to make a name for yourself. I mean, being the game high scorer in one of the games, I mean, it definitely was a great thing to be able to watch.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. Just being able to. The biggest thing for me is just staying ready, and that's what me and my brothers really, and my dad, we really work hard on every day. Is just being ready for any opportunity. So if I was in a different position, I may have not been ready for that call on Sunday to come the next day. So I was just really ready and prepared for this, and came out and was able to really play well. And it was just a lot of fun to be able to go out there and showcase it at the highest level.
No doubt. Let's talk a little bit more about the Summer League in Vegas then. I mean, for those that don't know, I mean, obviously the Summer League and the California Classics with Lakers, the Kings, and the Warriors and then Miami, and then you have the Summer League, which is in Vegas with all the
Yeah,
teams. So talk a
yeah.
little about that and how's it a little bit longer and the different teams and guys you play against there.
Yeah, and both were great tournaments, and of course
Hmm.
Vegas is a little different because every team is there. So, just the atmosphere, the energy, everyone plays super hard. It's very competitive, and I mean everybody's there.
Hmm.
All the NBA execs, all the overseas teams, everyone who's has a name in basketball is in Vegas at some point during that time period. So it was crazy just to see all the different types of people. It was great competition, great games. Of course, it was long just because you're in Vegas, or probably longer than you want to be. But I mean,
Hmm.
just it's just an opportunity that doesn't come around often. So to be able to go out there and showcase the ability and garner attention from teams is just awesome. So it was a great experience.
No doubt. I mean, I definitely know as a fan experience play. I mean, it's definitely one of the funnest things of the year 'cause it's almost like the AAU feeling in terms of like it's just
Yeah,
games going all day long. I mean, you got
exactly.
I mean, just the amount of NBA players, like you're saying too. I mean, you have LeBron, you got Anthony Davis, you have all the players that are there watching. I mean, they're just everyone there. It's like a fun family feeling experience. I mean, the players, all the summer league guys, NBA players, just walk around with the fans and all. It's just a definitely laid back kind of fun experience.
Man, it's a great experience, and it's great how they've moved it just to the main summer league, just to Vegas, and how
Hmm.
every team's in it. So
No
and
doubt.
and yeah, just like you said, it's like the biggest club tournament type feel, and
Hmm.
and it brings you back to those times of that type of basketball. So it's great.
No doubt. I mean, definitely know for like players too. I mean, you guys get to go watch your former teammates, your friends play as well because they're playing right
Yeah,
after you or something like that.
yeah, absolutely. Basketball is such a close knit community, and once you're in it for a while, like you realize how many people you end up knowing, and how many people you still connect with down the road. So it's great. It's definitely like a family type of feel.
No doubt. So, what are some of your favorite moments from the Vegas one?
Man, some of my favorite moments from the Vegas one, um, man, really just like the whole experience was great. I would say the first night was really crazy just because of the hype and the people, and it was sold out,
Hmm.
and the amount of attention that was there, and we had a lot of momentum from the Sacramento game we played last because we came back from so much down. But
Hmm.
I would say the first game was really memorable just because it had a feel of like a rivalry college game because it was
Hmm.
sold out, the fans were going crazy, and it was the first game of the night. So um, I would say that was a lot of fun, and just the experience as a whole, just being able to play out there was a great experience.
No doubt. I mean, I know definitely for you guys. I mean, obviously the LA Clippers versus Lakers game was great and all, but I mean, just
Yeah,
being able to play alongside or in front of LeBron, Davis, Kuzma. I mean, a lot of those kind of NBA players is something that's not many people get to always do.
man, yeah, and just being able to meet those guys and be in the actual organization that they're in at the moment
Hmm.
was cool. It was a great experience. So yeah, it was awesome.
No doubt. So compare this year's summer league experience to last year with the Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, both organizations are amazing and great organizations. They really take care of their players. I would say
Hmm.
the biggest difference for me last year was really tough for me just because I played well in the first game of the California Classic, but ended up tearing my meniscus in the first game. So I had to sit out the next two games, and then I kind of tried to play a few games in Vegas, but I just wasn't myself, and I ended up sitting out the rest of the Vegas time. So being able to actually play this year and play pretty much all the games and play healthy
Hmm.
was like a big blessing, and just a huge testament to just perseverance and being able to overcome certain trials that you go through. So
Hmm.
it was just great for this year to be able to just compete consistently and be able to play, opposed to last year where I had that injury, which was unfortunate, and
Hmm.
wasn't able to play as much. So they were both great experiences, but they were both different lessons for sure in my journey.
No doubt. So what part of your game have you kind of improved on from last year to this year?
Yeah, I would definitely say just my feel for the game. Just coming in, having a year of NBA type basketball experience, whether that's in
Hmm.
the G League or in summer league, being able to come out here and just play more confident, and have run the team as a point guard and be able to have that feel for the game definitely helps with that year of experience. So I feel like this year I was just more prepared, more ready just to come out and make an impact, whether that was scoring defensively or getting my teammates involved or running the team. So I felt like this year I just felt comfortable.
No doubt, that's awesome. I mean, definitely you could see it too on the court. I mean, there's a lot of times where obviously you did take over and you were the leading scorer, like I said. I mean, you just were obviously being at a high level, playing amongst the best players and best young players in the entire NBA.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Hmm. So have the Lakers or any other team had interest in signing you, either a regular contract, a two-way, or something like a training camp deal?
Yeah, we're currently in talks with international teams and then also with the Lakers too about a potential training camp deal. So um, right now it's just kind of my agents do a really good job of just giving me all the options and surveying what's the best thing for me. And
Hmm.
so I'm really weighing. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing yet, but I'm definitely weighing either staying with the Lakers or potentially going international overseas somewhere. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's just a blessing to be able to have options, you know. So
Hmm.
now it's just doing what's the best for me and my family and for my career moving forward.
No doubt. I mean, definitely that's the thing that a lot of people say. I mean, yeah, the NBA is obviously the end goal, but when it's all said and done, I mean, being overseas is something that's a blessing. I mean, you get to go see God's creation all the way overseas, and whether it be Europe, China, I mean, wherever it is, I mean, you get to go experience a whole new type of lifestyle that most people don't get to experience.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a big blessing just to be able to have basketball as my job and be able to actually play the game I love, like you said, and God's blessed me with that and been able to just share my testimony through that and be able to use it as a platform, you know.
No doubt. Let's talk about your past year playing in the G League with the Texas Legends and the Raptors 905. So, what was it like playing with those teams?
Yeah, both again great organizations. It was tough at first because coming off my meniscus injury, I kind of had to jump in the G League later. So I jumped in
Hmm.
around December after I got my knee scoped and then was ready to go. So um, I jumped in with the Legends first, and it was a great organization, great people, great coaches, but it just wasn't the best situation for me because they kind of already had their roster set. They had their two-way guys. They already had their positions kind of filled. So I
Hmm.
didn't see as much opportunity there as I thought I kind of expected or should have the opportunity to have. So after that short stint with them, I went to the Raptors. G League called and said they had a position open and really would love to have me. And I went there and made the most of that opportunity as well. And it was a great situation to be in. And
Hmm.
great team, great organization. Have nothing but great things to say about them. So they really helped me continue to propel my career forward. So yeah, it was great. My agents did a great job of putting me in the right position to be successful. So that was a good experience. It's a grind though. The G League's a grind,
Hmm.
but it's a great platform to be able to put you in position to where you want to be. You know.
No doubt. So, what are some of the best memories while playing with the Raptors team?
Some of the best memories, man. I built a lot of great relationships out there. I have a lot of teammates that I still talk to now that we went and hung out in Vegas, went to eat and stuff. So just building those relationships and then just when the great opportunities I had there too. There was a stretch of games where we were really short on players and there were only like 7 or 8 of us that were active
Hmm.
on the roster because our two-way guys were up. So we were playing like a lot and just playing. We were just, it was kind of like our backs were against the wall at some games, and we would just come out and win and play really well. And I had a really good stretch of games, scoring like 20 plus and leading the team in assists and stuff like that. So it was a great. We had great stretches over there, and it was just a great experience for sure.
That's awesome. I mean, let's talk a little bit more about that. I mean, obviously, when you're on a two-way contract, you get pulled up and down kind of like frequently. But let's talk
Yeah.
about, I mean, you guys obviously playing with the NBA champions with Toronto Raptors team. I mean, you guys had guys like Chris Boucher, you guys had Malcolm Miller, I mean, Jordan Lloyd. A lot of guys were keep going, fluctuating between what roster was it like, and what was that kind of like being as a player that had your different guys leaving up, going up and coming back down?
Yeah, it's a lot of like fluctuation and unpredictability, really. So
Mm-hmm.
it's another just testament to being ready. And some days we're gonna have our roster's gonna be loaded, and the opportunity won't be as much. You'll still have opportunity, but it won't be as much opposed to when our two-way guys are called up, or we have a shortage on the roster. So you're gonna have to play 30 plus minutes that night. So it's just about being ready, and that's the biggest thing I could say about my journey so far is just staying prepared, being ready for any opportunity, and when it comes, just make the most of it. And that's what I've been trying to do the most of.
No doubt. So, what was the biggest thing you learned from being a part of the G League team this past year?
Yeah, the biggest thing I'd say I would learn is just I would say you just do what you can control what you can control.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the biggest thing for me is if I couldn't control if we had a certain amount of players that night, or I wouldn't have as much opportunity, or if I would have to play 40 minutes that night. So it was like just do what you can control was the biggest thing for me, and the chips are gonna fall where they're gonna fall, and then you control your fate with whatever opportunity you're given. And so that was the biggest thing for me, I believe, just being able to control what I can control, and leaving the rest up to your preparation.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. So let's get into some of your college career then. Obviously, you spent all 4 years at Central Arkansas. So what was it kind of like? Break down your 4 years. I mean, obviously you broke and you came out with being one of the top players in Southland history in the
Yeah,
conference. But let's talk about your years. Like break down what different things kind of stood out to you initially your years you played there.
man, college, man. The college journey was a different one, and it was a one of the best things that happened to me though. But so coming out of high school, I had offers coming out of high school, but I had an ankle injury going into one of the summer sessions where they do recruiting. So a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
schools that were recruiting me ended up just not continuing to pursue me because I wasn't even playing. So I ended up only having one offer, which was from Central Arkansas, because of Coach Russ Pennell, who was out. He was the coach at Grand Canyon here. He actually coached at Arizona some as well.
Mm-hmm.
But me and him have a great relationship, and I've known him since I was young. So he ended up getting a job in Arkansas. And he was like, Jordan, I'm going to Arkansas. I'm starting the team completely new, and I want you to be the first person I signed. So I was like, man, I have no idea what's out there. Like, I don't know what's going on in Arkansas, but oh man, that's my only option right now to play Division I basketball. So let's do it. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember he picked me up one night here, and we just drove around talking about the vision we had for it and what we could build it into. And so went to Arkansas. It was just me, Coach Russ, and then Ethan Lee, who my best friend, one of my best friends, and my roommate. He was my roommate for all my 4 years. Ethan was the only guy that Coach Russ kept from the previous team.
Mm-hmm.
So it was me, Ethan, and then we had a whole group of freshmen coming in. So it was like we were starting completely new, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like one of the biggest learning experiences in my life because my freshman year we ended up only winning 2 games. We were like 2-27, and so it was like I was like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. I remember we won our first game, and it was like in January or February, and it was on ESPN because they were like, oh, the team who hadn't won a game finally won a game. So it was like, man, it was crazy. So and then, but it was just like we couldn't see it at the moment, but we were building something special. So I ended up winning freshman of the year that year, despite our year. Had a really
Mm-hmm.
great year, even though we weren't winning as much. And then sophomore year, we went from 2 wins to I think 7 wins. So we are like, oh wow, that's kind of progress. So we went from 2 wins to 7 wins, and then we went to 10 wins my junior year, and then all the way up to 20 wins my senior year. So
Wow.
going from 2 wins to 20 wins is like it was one of the craziest experiences, but it was something I got to build with Coach Russ and the guys there, and just become a leader in, and something that God put in my heart. And I had no idea what the journey He was sending me to Arkansas, but it was just building that. And so went from freshman of the year to first team all conference to player of the year to breaking all the school scoring records, 3-point records, the Southland Conference 3-point record, scoring record, the
Mm-hmm.
all-time leading scorer in Arkansas State history for all schools in Arkansas. So being able to go from no offers to that offer to winning 2 games to winning 20 games to doing that is just a testament to just the hard work and the plan that God instilled in my heart and Coach Russ's heart to be able to go out there and make a change and change a program. We completely changed a program that was known for just losing to bringing exciting basketball and winning. So, and then out of that, just was able to propel my career to what it is now. So it's just crazy. Sometimes you don't know the struggle or the trial you're going through is going to actually make you a better person, a better athlete. And so it was crazy, but just an awesome journey to be on.
No doubt. So let's talk a little bit more about that. I mean, obviously going in, like you said, I mean, most of the team of freshmen when you first went there, as a freshman, you had to go in and
Yeah.
be like a leader of the team. What was the experience like? I mean, that's something that not a lot of freshmen have to deal with.
Man, it was an experience where I had to grow up quick, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, from day one, Coach Russ brought me in and was like, "This is your show. You're gonna run the show." So from being the point guard from day one to the last day I was there, it was my responsibility to really lead the team as a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior, and seeing my progress each year as being that leader um, was just something that you can't picture, you can't pay for. Like that's an experience that you
Mhm.
just going through builds your character. So
No doubt.
it definitely had its ups and downs, man. Just like to go through a whole season and to not win a game until February is like it can break you down. So just trying to
Mhm.
be positive, trying to see the bigger picture and what we were actually building was tough at times, but it really made me a better person and a better leader.
No doubt. So I mean, obviously, like you said, I mean, you struggled through a lot of years, especially the first three. Were there
Mhm.
any times that you kind of like, were there other schools that maybe contacted you? Did you say, hey, we have a spot, would you like to come over? Or did you ever consider transferring?
The crazy thing was, I had a lot of interest from a lot of schools that wanted me to transfer. After from my freshman to junior year, some big schools as well. Pretty much almost any school in the country. So
Wow.
um, the thing was, the biggest thing with me is just loyalty,
Hmm.
and to see where we came from my freshman year leading up to my senior year, it was just like I don't want to throw away what we built, what Coach Russ has done for me, and what we could end with here. And so,
Hmm.
if I were to leave, man, it would just be tough because I know Coach Russ was the first person to bring me in and wanted to finish it out with me. So, to be
No
able
doubt.
to see how well my senior year went was just awesome and everything that I could have wanted out of my ending my career there.
No doubt. I mean, a lot of the kids I talk to, some of my friends and I tell them, I mean, when you look at colleges, I mean, yeah, you always have like your dream school. I mean, from growing up, maybe if it's Kansas or Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, whatever. But I
Hmm.
mean, honestly, when you look at it, like in my opinion, now when you look at college, the media will be there. Like if you're a good player, NBA will find you, or at least some professional team will find you. So really,
Absolutely.
just find the place that you know the coach will truly invest in you and able to put you in the best level. Now that can be Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just, I mean, every school, every D1 school in the country. I mean, you even see some D2 guys sneaking in the NBA now, which is special. It never really happened before.
Man, that's you put it perfectly. Like that's the biggest thing that I tell kids now is don't chase the name, chase the situation that's going to put you in the best position and the coach
Hmm.
that's going to put you in the best position. And that's why I give so much credit to Coach Russ because he brought me in and just let me be myself. He took me off the leash and just let me play my game. So if I was in a different situation, it might not have been that. And so
Hmm.
it can be it's better for kids to go to smaller schools. I mean, we see our biggest stars in the NBA today went to the smaller
Yep.
school. So
Hmm.
um, just I just encourage kids to go to where they fit, not the biggest name. And if the biggest name is where you fit, then that's great because
Hmm.
that works great for a lot of people. But
Hmm.
you got to do what's best for you, not what is gonna bring the most attention. You know.
I think we saw that a lot, especially in this last draft class. I mean, it was a perfect example. I mean, a lot of the top players in the country really slid. Either not went, a couple of them were undrafted, some the second round or late first round. But then you saw a lot of guys like Brandon Clark, he flew up. You see
Yeah.
guys like obviously Jared Culver was unranked. I mean,
Yeah.
I think there were like 3 or 4 guys unranked that were in the top 10 picks,
Yeah.
which is
Exactly.
is something special.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can play, you're going to be able to make it regardless.
No doubt. So let's talk about your senior night. Obviously, that's something that's always emotional for a lot of guys because you play all 4 years, or at least you played a good chunk of your time there. What was that like being on senior night and that game for you?
Man, it was like it was emotional just because of everything we've been through and how much I gave to that university and how much they gave back to me
Hmm
and how much that night meant to me and to have my family there. Just because everyone knows who's been there from the start, how hard
hmm
it was and how much we've been through. So to be able to have everyone there who we started with, and even players from the past who came back, just to be able to go out there and end on that court on a win was just something special,
No
and
doubt.
something that I'll always remember and be able to cherish forever. So it was great. It was a great experience.
No doubt. So let's talk a little bit more about Arizona basketball then. Obviously you're in that group where a lot of people look at. You were with you, obviously Marcus, Marvin, Brandon Clark, Mitch, Saban. A lot of you guys are like the guys that kind of started the uproot of the new era of basketball in Arizona, which has kind of
Yeah,
transpired into a really top state in terms of basketball now. But what's it
yeah,
like seeing how Arizona's continuing to grow since you guys kind of set the standard?
man, it's been amazing. Just to be able to be a part of that group. Because when we first moved out here, Arizona was never known as like, oh, this is a big basketball state. It's known as the football state.
Hmm
So to be able to come out here and kind of change that narrative has been awesome, and just to be able to kind of build that community of the guys who've all been successful around here that have
hmm
gone off to either college or professional to be able um, to just be successful and put on for Arizona has been awesome. So whenever we see each other, it's nothing but love. I saw Marvin in Sacramento, got to talk to him for a while,
hmm
and saw Zylan Cheatham in Vegas, saw Brandon Clark, saw all those guys. So to be able to just be a part of that group, and then of course Marcus as well. Just so proud of all he's been able to do for Arizona too. It's just great to be able to continue to put Arizona on the map.
Absolutely. I know just when I was younger, just you saw me to see a guy go to the D1 was just a big deal in Arizona, which it was. But
Yeah,
now it's like you see this about 30 to 40, 50 even guys going Division 1 every year. And not only that, then you see the NBA guys. We growing up it was like Channing Frye was like the main guy we looked to. Now you got Marvin. We have like number one picks. You see, we've had first round picks, and we probably will have first round picks for the next few years. You see Nico, you see Kyrie Walker. You see a lot of guys coming, which is just huge.
yeah, absolutely. It's great. It's great to be able to do that, and I think the Arizona media has been great too.
hmm
And like with AZ's Finest and Michael Clark and all those guys, they've done a great job of making people aware because some people just don't know.
Yeah.
So being able to put it out on social media has been huge, and I think they were a huge part of that and being able to expose the Arizona market more.
No doubt. Talk a little bit about your family now then. Obviously you come from a family of a lot of athletes. Your dad played football, your brother played basketball, and obviously Marcus is playing at a record-breaking year at Marquette. Talk about just the growth and being with part of a family with a ton of athletes like that.
Man, like it's something that you could only just like wish for me. Being able to grow up and have a big brother to look up to be able to follow and try to emulate what he does playing basketball, and then to have just the best support system I could ask for with my mom taking care of everything we need from cooking to cleaning to laundry. Like she's literally like a superhero. She does everything that we need her to. Like whatever we need, she's always there. So, and then to have my dad, who's just the best to be able to prepare us for anything we need, whether that's life or physical as well, because he's a trainer. So
Hmm
he trains us, and then just to be able to grow up in a family that it was just organically just it was just love and just sports, and it wasn't like we were forced to do anything we didn't want to do. We just fell in love with the game, and they
hmm
supported us in every way possible. So it was just the way it happened is the perfect way. We fell in
hmm
love with the game of basketball and pushed each other and had fun while doing it. So to be able to have a family that supports you in whatever you do is just the best thing to have.
That's awesome. So who would you say in your life has been your biggest role model?
Ooh, my biggest role model. That's a tough one. It'd probably have to be just from growing up, either my older brother Desmond or
Hmm
my dad. Really, just being able to from the time I was born to now, to have that older brother influence has been everything to me. And just for him to be able to guide me through life and through sports and through his experiences, and to learn from him, and to be so close in age, because we're only 19 months apart.
Wow.
Um, so to be that close in age, to see his journey, and then to be able to um, just try to be like him, and for
Mhm.
him to push me was the best thing. And then my dad, of course, just being the biggest role model I could ask for, because of the way he is and the way he interacts with people, and how much of a grinder he is and how hard he works. Just seeing how hard he worked throughout his life inspired me to be the hardest worker everywhere I was at. So
Mhm.
just to have those influencers, and then even Marcus, just like, even though he's younger than me, just how much he inspires me every day too,
Mhm.
to be the best I can be. So um, yeah, really everyone in my family, even my mom, of course, like all she does for us, like she
Mhm.
inspires me as well. So I would say like my whole family, really.
No doubt. I mean, definitely to have God bless everyone to have a great family like that. Something key for success and just for your life.
Man, absolutely.
So let's wrap this thing up then and talk about something I always like to end it with. So how has God helped you the most throughout your life so far?
Man, everything in my life has been centered around just God and faith, and just having faith and believing that the my steps are ordered, and that the path that He wants me to follow is the one I'll continue to go on. So
Mhm.
um, faith has been the biggest thing for us as a family, and just to be able to um, portray that in the way we act, the way we interact with people, the way that we go about sports, our hard work has been what our family is defined by. So for me, just everything, just from going to just having no offers, to being able to make the most of my college experience, to be able to go to summer league, to be able to do it again this year. And nothing's by coincidence, even though it seems like these are crazy coincidences that happen. Like, God's plan is always bigger than what I could ever imagine. So it's like,
Mhm.
I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to be in summer league. I didn't even expect to be in summer league. I wasn't supposed to be the leading scorer in Arkansas. It
Mhm.
was just all by God's grace and God's plan, and for him, for me to be able to use my platform for His glory. So
No doubt.
um, it's just the biggest blessing to be able to have that faith, and have a God like Him to be able to order my steps, and just to be able to continue to help me throughout this journey. So I think that's the biggest thing, is my faith in everything. It reflects everything that I do and everything that I am. So yeah.
No doubt. I mean, obviously, always to have someone like God that's there to protect you and guide you. I mean, especially in your case, you talked about the amount of times that you're really uncertain, you didn't really have the best opportunity, whether it be college, summer league, G League, I mean, whatever it is, and obviously to pan out to still be where you're at today.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, like, I try to preach as well, is just, if you don't have faith, if you don't have that relationship with God, a lot of these things that I went through, I may have not been able to go through, or I may
Hmm.
not have made through, been able to persevere through. So it's just all credit to God, and my faith, and to be able to have that belief that things are going to work out no matter the circumstances.
No doubt. Well, it's been great talking to you, man. God's got a big time future in store for you, and I can't wait to see it. Best of luck.
Thank you so much, man. You as well. I wish you nothing but the best, and just thank you for having me on. I had a lot of fun talking to you.
Appreciate it. God bless, bro.
Man, God bless.
Coming up next, it's SchuZ Zone, but it's gonna be a little bit different for you guys. I'm gonna talk about all the guys that have worked hard and been able to get themselves or earn themselves a deal so far. Now, yes, there'll be many, many more. Obviously, there's gonna be so many more two-way spots filled. There's many more exhibit 10s. There's so much more to be filled out. But as of right now, I'm gonna give you guys the names of the players that have earned themselves a roster spot or at least a training camp deal. So let's get right into it. I just love these things. I mean, you see so many players in the NBA that work their ways up to the coming over from overseas. They come up from the G League. They come up on out from two ways. So many different ways, and I love these contracts. I love these guys because they truly are the best. I mean, you think about it. Spencer Dinwiddie, you see as one. See Jonathan Simmons. We all know that story. I mean, the list goes on though. There's so many of these guys that truly it's amazing to see. mean, so many teams are built off this, like San Antonio, like Brooklyn did. I mean, a lot of these teams are. Toronto built the entire team out of the G League, basically. I just love seeing this. So let's get right into some of these guys that you're seeing now. As for the Milwaukee Bucks, they retained Bonzi Colson, obviously, to the two-way deal. Raptors, they brought over Terrence Davis to a 2-year deal. He's actually going to be on the roster guaranteed. He was on the Denver for one game, and he got signed right on over. Devin Robinson, he's on a 1-year roster. He's going to be on a 1-year training camp deal for right now, is what we're hearing. It's unguaranteed. And Cameron Payne for a 2-year deal. He killed it out for Dallas. He's going to be with Toronto. They've got 3 more guys. Like I said, they build the team off this. Philadelphia got Norbert Pele, and they signed the rookie that they drafted, Mario Shea, to a 2-way deal, both of them. Boston, Max Struss, they signed him to a 2-way deal. And then Tremont Waters, he's going to be on a 2-way deal. He was drafted by Boston in the end of the draft. Brian Bowen, one of the big storylines from the whole college scandal, but he's a great player. Clearly deserves to be in the NBA. I don't really know why it's affecting him that much because he clearly can ball. He's on Indiana for a 2-way deal. Magic have just signed Josh Maggette, who I'm not sure exactly to what deal it is, but he will be on the Orlando Magic. Detroit Pistons, Luis King and Jordan Bone are both on 2-way deals. Charlotte signed Robert Franks to a 2-way deal. Now as for Miami, they've been busy. They've signed 3 guys to Exhibit 10 deals, being Chris Silva, Jerron Martin, and Kyle Alexander, bringing a lot of guys over from there. Washington, Garrison Matthew, he's on a 2-way deal. Now for Atlanta Hawks, they signed Charlie Brown Jr. to a 2-way deal. Chicago went and signed Adam Mokoko to a 2-way deal. As for Cleveland, they signed Dean Wade, the former K-State player, to a 2-way deal. The Knicks, they signed Chris Wilkes after the drafted 2-way, and they're keeping Kadeem Allen to a 2-way deal. As for Golden State Warriors, they originally had Julian Washburn via trade, but they've now waived him, so expect 2 spots to be filled, and we'll see who they are. Denver Nuggets, they have Thomas Welsh. They're going to retain him on a 2-way deal. They drafted him last year, still looking to develop him. Portland, Jalen Horde, he's on a 2-way deal. They got him right after the NBA draft when he went undrafted. Utah Jazz, they've got Stanton Kidd and William Horde. Stanton Kidd played on the G League or the Summer League team, played pretty solid. He got signed to a deal. And William Howard's coming over from overseas. Jarrell Brantley, though, and Justin Wright Foreman are the 2 guys going on 2-way. As for Mine One, he's going to be on the regular roster. He was signed to actual contract by the Utah Jazz earlier this week. Now, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Lugueris Dort, we know that. ASU man, he was on a 2-way deal, signed right after the draft. And Dante Griffin, he's going to be on the bench. He's going to be on a 2-way deal, coming right back from last year where we left off. San Antonio Spurs signed the guy they drafted, Quindary Weatherspoon, to a 2-way deal. He was very impressive in the summer league, had a lot of highlights and a lot of good games. Drury Banks, he's also on a 2-way deal. He's coming back from last year. Clippers, Amir Coffey, he came out and showed up. He earned himself a big-time 2-way deal from the LA Clippers. I like his game. He's going to be something good for them. Now, I also do want to see the Clippers. I'm a little surprised that they let go of Jonathan Motley. I really do like his game. Reminds me a lot of Montrezl Harrell, but I'm surprised he hasn't been picked up yet. Sacramento signed Kyle Guy to a 2-way deal. I'm kind of surprised. Kyle Guy was the guy that showed up and was one of the top players in the summer league. He was a star, just as I predicted. He's a great player. Love his game, but he's on a 2-way deal. I think that'll be converted pretty easily next year. Now for Wenyen Gabriel, who's also on a 2-way, retaining that role as he had last year. Lakers signed Zach Nobrell Jr. He showed up big time and clearly earned a spot there. Devontae Kaycock and Eric Holmes. He's also going to be on Exhibit 10 now. They don't have another spot, as Jordan talked about. He might just be on that roster spot. Minnesota, Naz Reid is on a 2-way deal, signed right after the draft. He's one of the guys that was a top player in the draft and the recruiting class last year. Obviously, fell to being undrafted. Grizzlies, John Kakar, he took the spot of Julian Washburn via the trade. So Memphis decided to keep him on the 2-way deal. He was a big-time player. And, of course, Yuta Watanabe. He was huge for them. And the Summer League is a very good player they like to keep developing. Pelicans have Zylan Cheatham, another ASU guy, homegrown from Arizona, as Jordan talked about. He's a big-time player on a 2-way deal. Showed up big time in the Summer League. As for the Dallas Mavericks, they're retaining Coach Antetokounmpo, and they signed Daryl Macon to a 2-way deal as well. They had him on 2-way for a little bit last year. And in today's news, for the Phoenix Suns, Jared Harper is now on a 2-way deal also. He played pretty well at the Summer League as well. That wraps it up for SchuZ Zone, though, guys. I know it's a little different. Not necessarily alerts and all that, but I just want to give these guys attention because ESPN, those guys don't really tweet out or message or put alerts out about these guys. And these guys are big time. They earn it, and they're getting their dreams the same way other guys did. Maybe the name's not being called, but they're going to have a chance to play at the NBA at a high level, and I couldn't be happier for all of them. So that's what we got for SchuZ Zone, folks. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today on SchuZ Views episode 27. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. But with that being said, SchuZ Views episode 27 is in the books. But that's not it, because things are just getting started. So much stuff's about to go down in SchuZ Views. Devin Cameron will talk about his most recent Auburn commit in the coming days. And then on Friday, Amir Robinson kicks off the Strive for Greatness Blue Chip Series, and it's a big-time series you're not going to miss. Some of the top players will be involved, in this series. And LeBron James. This is going to be awesome. You're not going to miss that. Big time stuff is happening. Also, the breakdown, the show where I break down the highlight reels with the player. Oh, that's going to be awesome. It's going to start back when I get back from New York City. But only one way to stay up to date and to know all this stuff, go follow me at Zach Schumaker on Twitter or Instagram. Go like my Facebook page at SchuZ Zach Schumaker or The Breakdown. Also, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can go subscribe via SchuZ Views. We're going to give you nightly recaps occasionally. Or go and like my breakdown. It's just The Breakdown. The first episode with Troll Mario is out now on YouTube. You'll get a quick clip on my Instagram TV channel. All that being said, guys, I don't want you guys to miss it, so please go do that. Now, no matter what platform you may be listening to this podcast at, make sure to go subscribe, like, comment, all that. I want to keep the SchuZ Views brand growing, and I cannot wait to have you guys be along with me. All that being said, though, I'll talk to you guys and catch you guys next time. SchuZ is out. Everyone go be the light of God, and God bless.